He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. Bow down thine ear, and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee. They shall withal be fitted in thy lips, that thy trust might be in the I am. I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. Have not I written to thee excellent things and counsels and knowledge, that I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that sin unto thee. Rob not the poor, because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted of the gate. For the I am will plead their cause and spoil the souls of those that spoil them. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. Lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Be not one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debt. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take thy bed from under thee? Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 16 through 29. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts. And let them not lead me and my children lest we go astray. Jubilees chapter 12 and 20. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Yes, I had to remember that one. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Now, we thank the Most High for giving me my remembrance. All praises to his holy name. I wanted to quote that right. Yes. Now, we thank God for you, and we give God the praise for all that he has done. And he has been very good to us. And we give him the praise, because we see that in the earth that things are shifting themselves to his glory. See, we got to understand, God's glory is our glory. Many of us are so selfish, we just think about our glory. We don't think about God's glory. God's glory is showing that, hey, if you're in doing that which pleases me, it's like a wife doing that which is pleasing to her husband. Or one who's betrothed doing that which is right, not going around presenting herself as one before other men, that she is free, or I'm just a fiance. It don't have to go this way. Yes, it does. You've already made that vow. You have to carry it through. And one thing about it is that we have to really understand, God is not playing with people. People are playing with God. But the fact is, we understand through reading of his word that God is not mocked. Neither does he work according to our understanding. Most of the time he does not. He works according to how he sees fit. And it's up to us to understand and know the I am. Yes, it is. It's up to us to understand and know him. For he even commands us to do these things. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, nor the wise man in his wisdom, nor the mighty man in his strength, but glory in this, that you understand and know me. Not through the wisdom of men or the auspices of men, no, but by his law. His law reveals him to every man, woman, and child that would endeavor to do this, to understand and know him. Now, it has been made hard because of the heathen that have got into it to control others. They have manipulated, not only they have totally manipulated what they call the New Testament. I don't even think evidence points that it's not even a real book. This character that you call Isis, Yahusha, or, a son of God, and some of you even call him God, is nil and void, because it goes against the first commandment. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me, is what he says. And then some of you go a little further in that you make images. Thou shalt not make any graven image of anything in the likeness of heaven or earth, the sea, beneath. He said, thou shalt not make these images to bow thyself down to them. Now, let me get you straight here. It's not talking about I give a painting of my family and to remember them. It's not talking about you make a statue in order to, in memorial of something. It's when you bow down, when you deem this person as a god. Well, it reminds me of one of the African leaders that had made a statue of himself. It's really funny. I'm not going to say it, but many of you that are in Africa and some of you here in other countries, you might know who he is. But then as soon as he left office, what happened was the people tore it down. When a wicked leader is in power, what's going to happen? The people are going to howl. But when a righteous leader is leading, the people rejoice. It's about the people. It's not about you. Even the most powerful of the nations, it's about the people. It's not about you. Yes, there are some people that are greedy. There are some people who are mean and evil and murderous, deceitful, adulterous. But it's still about the people. That you enact laws and enforce laws that will protect the innocent and those who have ordered their lives correctly. That's who it's about. But nevertheless, let us continue. We're in Nehemiah chapter 11. Nehemiah chapter 11, as you prepare. Nehemiah was one of the ones called, and he was told to rebuild Jerusalem. And so his whole thing was to rebuild the cities, and he did. He was in charge of rebuilding the cities, and also you had Ezra, which was in charge of building the temple, or should I say, so that all these things can come together. The feast days, the days of, some of them called Pentecost, but God only said 3. The I Am only said 3. And so the king of Persia have allowed Nehemiah and a number of people, even Ezra, as you read in Ezra before, to go back to the land and rebuild Jerusalem, rebuild this land. And many went back, and some could not even tell. See, this is how it was getting ready to start. Their identity was gone because they could not keep it. The identity was through the fathers. This is how the ancient Israelites kept their identity, through their father. It wasn't the mother, it was the father that they kept their identities with. And this is where you must train your sons in who his father was and who his father's fathers were, regardless of whether they were good or wicked. Through that father is a lot of things known. Because for one thing, a woman only carries a man for 9 months, but a man carries everybody all his life. although it might not seem insignificant, is very significant in that God says if a woman or anyone kicks a man in that private area, put them to death. This is the law. Although it's not the law of the U.S. or Europe or different countries in Africa, this is the law for Jacob and those who will follow after the laws of the Most High and after Jacob. One law for everybody. One law. No one's greater, no one's lower. If the law calls for death and the high priest was the one that sinned, then he shall be put to death according to the law. It doesn't matter. God has no respect of persons, and he requires that everyone that names his name have no respect of persons either. This is the law. Period. Now, Nehemiah chapter 11 and verse 1. And the rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem. The rest of the people also cast lots to bring one of the 10 to dwell in Jerusalem, the holy city. In other words, 1 out of the 10 people that have came out of the captivity, the Persian captivity, only they had to cast lots. Whoever had the longest straw, however you want to put it, they could dwell in the holy city, because it couldn't hold all of those people. And the 9 parts to dwell in other cities. And the people blessed all the men that willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem. Now these are the chief to the province that dwell in Jerusalem, but in the cities of Judah dwelt everyone his possession in their cities, to wit, Israel, the priest, and the Levites, and the Nethinims, and the children of Solomon's servants. Yes, they were there. In verse 4, and Jerusalem dwelt certain of the children of Judah, and the children of Benjamin, or Benoni would be the correct pronunciation, because that's what his mother named him. But they said it's a transliteration. Benjamin sounds better. None of your business, because his father said his name was Benjamin. No. He gave his mother that right to name him. This is the children of Benoni. Of the children of Judah, Athiah. The children of Uzziah, the son of Zechariah, the son of Amariah, and the sons of Zephaniah. The sons of Mahalaleel, and the sons of Perez. And Manasseh, the son of Baruch, the son of Kolhose, the son of Haziah, the son of Hadiah, and the son of Yo, it would no J there. That would be either Yo or there was nothing there. Or we could say Arbib, the son of Zechariah, the son of Shiloni. And the sons of Perez that dwelt at Jerusalem were 468 valiant men. Now they needed soldiers. They needed men that were strong and agile. You get these pictures where you got these big old mighty strong men. That is not what's going to win a war. You don't need the big, strong, big muscled men. They're tight, they're stiff, they're no good for your purpose. But what you need is an agile, slim, healthy male that can move quickly, can aim straight, and can maneuver in any way, or can think good. Yes, big muscles look good and it makes one, they're strong, but they're not agile. A small or strong man can take a big man down, period, depending on the skill level. Now, all the sons of Perez that dwelt at Jerusalem were 468 valiant men. And these are the sons of Benoni. Saliu, the son of Meshulam, the son of Joed, the son of Pedaiah, the son of Kolaiah, the sons of Messiah, and the sons of Ithiel, and the sons of Jesiah. And after Gibai, Saliel, the 928, and Joel, the son of Zitri, was their overseer. In other words, he was in charge, not no slave master thing. No, it has nothing to do. So you have to realize this word, even the Old Testament, everything has been geared toward the West. It has been taken, if you realize, Israelites were Africans. They were born in Egypt, either way you put it. Well, you listen to the guy that wrote the book about it's supposed to be in Africa, or Israel is in Africa. It's not the Africa that you think, because the absurdity of those who say it's in South Africa is very absurd, because do you know how long it takes even to drive across in a nice car, to drive across from Egypt onto South Africa? It's very absurd. So they have to change where Jerusalem is. And they come up with so many things, but there is no proof. But the proof you see in the beginning of this video of where Jerusalem actually is. It's not where you have the ones that are occupying. That's another. There were two Jerusalems. If you read the book of Jasher and the book of Jubilees, you find out there was a king of Jerusalem. But yet there was a Jebus. See, this is where people miss it. There was Jerusalem and there's Jebus. Jebus was named Jerusalem by David. Although there was a Jerusalem there. Now, let us continue. Now after Gabai and after him, Gabai and Salai and 928. And Joel the son of Zechari was their overseer. He made sure things got done. And Judah the son of Senu, who was they responsible to? They couldn't have been responsible to the seed of David. They were responsible to the king of who? Persia. They were still in captivity, but yet they were allowed to live their lives. Just like even today, many of us are still in captivity. We're not allowed to live our lives. You have systematic racism, which really is a form of slavery, in a way. In other words, we're limited by things that we are not allowed to do inadvertently. And Judah, the son of Senua, was second over the city of the priests, and Jedediah the son of Jelarab, Jechin, and Sariah the son of Hilkiah, and the sons of Meshulam, and the sons of Zadok, and the sons of Meroth, and the sons of Hatub, was the ruler of the house of God. Yes, and they had made sure, because there's a lot of work when you're ministering to the Most High. There's a lot of work to be done. And their brethren that did the work of the house were 822. And Adiah the son of Jehoram, and the sons of Peliah, and the sons of Amsi, and the sons of Zechariah, and the sons of Pashur, and the sons of Malchiah, verse 13, and his brethren, chief of the father, 242. And Amsham, the son of Azareel, and the sons of Hashai, the sons of Meshillemoth, the son of Immer, and their brethren, mighty men of valor, and 128. And their overseer, the one who watched over the work that was done by them, was Zabdiel. We know it means something of God, or something by God, Zabdi. And the El means something by God, or God, or the Most High, or the I Am. The son of one of the great men. Also the Levite, Shemaiah, the son of Hashbab, the son of Azrikam, and the sons of Hashbiah, and the sons of Buni, and Shabbethia, and Jozabad, that would be it could be Ozabad. See, they change things. There are many insertions. For one, the insertions are the same thing. An insertion is the 70 weeks of Daniel. To give you a clue of where we're going when we get there. The 70 weeks of Daniel. Isaiah 53 is an insertion. There are other insertions there. We'll point them out as we get to them, but just to give you heads up and to investigate these things. There were insertions. Some of them were insertions, they were infusions. But the law states it all. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Why would God even do this? Those other words come out of God's mouth. Jesus is not God. Yahusha is not God. Yahushai is not God. No, they never exist. The son of Asaph. Now Asaph was one of the chief singers before the King Solomon, and was the principal to begin the Thanksgiving in prayer. Yes, to me there should be 3 hours of prayer. There should be an hour of prayer in the morning, an hour of prayer in the noonday, and an hour, or should I say the prayer hour in the evening, as far as corporate prayer. I mean, it's optional for people to do, but Daniel set a very good example of how we should pray. The prophet Daniel. And Mattanai, the son of Michai, the son of Zabdi, the son of Asaph, was the principal to begin the Thanksgiving in prayer. In other words, we give thanks. He would be the one to give the Thanksgiving in prayer, or whatever ceremony there was. And Bakbukai, the son among his brethren, and Abdi, the son of Shemua, the son of Galal, the son of Zeduthun. All the Levites in the holy city were 284. In other words, 284. Moreover, the porters, Akub and Talmon and their brethren that kept the gates were 172. And the residue of Israel, of the priests and the Levites, were in all the cities of Judah, every one in his inheritance. But the Nethinims dwelt in Ophel and Zihah and Gaspah, and were over the Nethinims. You know, the Nethinims were the kings who came and pretended they were come from a far land, but they were of the Canaanitish people. And what they did, they tried to trick Oshay, or Joshua, some of you know him. And Oshay told them, he found them out, and he told them they will serve, and they served in, as serving the Levites. Yes, but they did have one over them. It was Zihah. Now the Levites would not marry among them. They will never give their young girls, and they will not allow their men to marry their women. That was forbidden for the Most High, and that was very wise. That way they ensure that they would not infiltrate or intermingle into the seed of Jacob. The overseer also of the Levites at Jerusalem was Uzziah, the son of Bani, the son of Hashbiah, the son of Matthiah, and the son of Michah, and the sons of Asaph. The singers were over the business of the house of the I Am. The business that's making sure everything is clean, swept, there's no abomination around or nothing like that. The business of taking care of when the sacrifice was done, to remove the ashes or even the carcasses and burn them without the camp. All these were the duties of the Levites. Now, for it was the king's commandment concerning them that a certain portion should be for singers, due for every day. And Bethaniah, Pethahiah, the son of Meshzabeel, the children of Zerah, the son of Judah, was at the king's hand in all matters concerning the people. For the villages with their fields and some of the children of Judah dwelt at Kirjathabar. Yeah, that's how you say it. Kirathabar. Yathabar. That J wasn't there. I think it's even an insertion or an I or a Y or something, but it wasn't there. And in the villages thereof, and at Dibon, and in the villages thereof at Jekabzeel, in the villages thereof, and at Yeshua. Yes, there was a place called Yeshua, or well, they transliterated to Jesus and all this stuff. Yeah, it was a place there. It wasn't no man named that as far as a Messiah, no. And at Molada, at Beth Philet, and at Hazar Shual, and at Beersheba in the villages thereof, and at Ziklag, and at Mechonah, and in the villages thereof, and in Rimmon, and at Zariah and Jarmuth. Now these are the people that you would call and say that they are Bantu. So the ancient language of the Israelites should be understood by the Bantu to a certain degree. Words in the ancient Hebrew should be familiar to the Bantu. Now, this is where the test begins. Can you take any of the Bantu language and go into the ancient Israelite languages or alphabet and make a word or understand the word that is spoken? That is a test. Some have been taken away, far away, that many don't even know who they are. And verse 28, at Ziklag and Mechoniah and Mechonah, in the villages thereof, and in Rimmon, at Zariah and Jarmuth, Zanoah, Adullam in their villages, and Lachish. Now Lachish, there was a battle with Lachish, and this is where Anubantu and Gert Miller had come up by measuring the skulls and looking at this war at Lachish. And this is how they come up with their reasoning and their theory, and also hardcore facts, that the ancient Hebrews and the Arabs were of a darker hue, curly, nappy hair, of Afrocentric features. Yes. And they were Africans. As the, Leroy Africanus, those say he gave the name to Africa. Regardless of who says what, the continent, it never had a name, really. There was no name for Europe. There was no name for Russia. The people gave them the continental names later on, but there was no name for none of them. Don't let these people fool you with all their rhetoric. There was no name for any of the lands. People lived on the lands and they named their countries, but they never named the whole country, because what? They never been all over the whole country or the land. Akabulan, that ain't even the name of the continent. They never been over the continent. Nobody named the continent. So therefore, whatever name you give it, if it's official and the majority of the land agree, then that's the name of the land. But this here was one man who wanted to own the whole land, probably, and this showed ownership. When you say Africa, you're saying ownership to Europeans. Now you have to change the land, the name of the land. Akabulan knew that wasn't the name of the land. Whatever you come up with between your leaders and the people that agree, get from under the ownership by whatever means the colonizers call themselves to own it. Rename everything. It's the right thing to do. That way your children has an identity. And it will be written in your history books that we renamed it, that we might have identity. Now let's continue and finish this off. Lachish. The book is called The History of the Ancient Hebrews and Arabs by Gert Muller and Anubantu. If you can't read it, get a copy. It's a very thin book for those of you who hate to read. It's amazing how many hate to read, but they will tell you everything about the Bible. And verse 31, the children of Benjamin and at Geba dwelt at Michmash and Ajah and Bethel and in their villages, and at Athanoth, Nob and Aniah and Hazor and Ramah and Gittiam and Hadid and Zeboim and Zebalat, Lod and Ono in the valley of craftsmen. And if we do those things that are right, God will restore us to the land that we belong. And we will have peace.